Good day from Kamakura, Japan. On this Wednesday, June 1st. Can you believe it? Summer's almost here. It's 19 degrees.
Notice there's some bugs trapped in here. I think they were flies. Okay, let's see what's going on in here. Notice some vines. So I want to come in here and get rid of these before they start to take over. See if I can get them out at the root. Yeah, see that ball on there? Yeah. Okay, I think this one's ready to be picked. I'm noticing some stress on this one plant here. So I'm going to cut this back. Our okra here is looking good, growing nice and tall, and our cucumbers are growing nicely as well. Let's get rid of some of these dying leaves here. Yeah, you can see up here we have some nice fruit forming. So we should be seeing some cucumbers in about a week's time. Probably won't be ready to be picked for about another 10 days or so. But they're growing nicely upward. I like that. Yeah, here on the other side you can see all of these flowers here. And over here, more growth on the green beans. Yeah, look at all this growth here. Very nice. Very good. And over on this side, the cucumbers are doing well, growing nicely. In a little while, I'll be able to tie them to the stakes here and train them upward as well. You can see their tendrils are coming out nicely. And over here, these okra is looking pretty good too. Things look pretty good in here, but I'm not seeing as many flowers as I had been just a few days ago. I should be seeing more fruit than I am seeing. Okay, how are things down in the lower garden? Well, the blueberries are growing slowly, plumping up slowly. Okay, and over here, how are we doing? Let's pull this back in. Well, something's working, right? There's my first butternut squash. Beautiful. How are we doing here? Looks good. Pretty soon this will be long enough to start growing upward. Sort of like this. Okay, how's everything else looking here? Okay, the eggplants look good. I see a flower here. Very nice. And another one here. Good, good, good. And a third down here. Very nice, very nice. Good, good, good. Our tomatoes are looking good. I'm going to do some pruning today. And over here, how are our pumpkins doing? Bugs. The bugs are here, but that's okay. Yeah, over here, our butternut squash are being eaten. But over here, we're looking good. We're looking very good over here. Okay. Yeah, they're beginning to travel. So while the sun is still low, I'm going to come out and do some trimming and possibly some tying, like right here. This could be tied up. Yeah, so let me go get my stool and get to work. Okay, let's start right here. I see we have a fruit here. Yeah, here we have a nice fruit forming. Very good, very good. And I don't see any suckers here, but I do want to clear out the lower level there. Make sure there's good airflow. So how are the rest doing? How's this one here? This needs to be tied up. We'll do that. Oh wow, look at that. A nice branch of fruit coming in here. Very nice, very nice. So I'm going to get to work on this here, and I'll come back and I'll stake the eggplant as well. It's nice and shaded here now, so I better get to work and hurry up before the sun rises. I'm ready. I'm going to come in here and clear out some of these low branches so that air can flow through. Oops, careful. Yeah, all of this lower growth I'll get rid of. Okay, like right here. Let's start at the bottom here. Just want to see a bare stem. Yeah, these are rather small ones here. Should I leave them? Yeah, I'll leave them and see what happens. Let me get this lower growth here. It's getting brighter already. Much better. Alrighty. So let's tie these up here. Okay, I'll tie this cluster here. I'm putting the string around a joint here, an arm pit, if you will, just to lessen the stress on the plant. Okay, that should work well. Yeah, I'm surprised there aren't many suckers. Well, at least not yet. So you can see the sun has risen quite a bit. Well, it's been about an hour since I began. But yeah, I've cleared out the underbrush here quite a bit and tied everything up to the upper levels here. So it's looking pretty good. Now what I'm going to do with the cuttings here, I'm simply going to throw them back in around the base of the plants so that way all of the nutrients that are in there will be available next year or later in the season if they decompose in time. Just throw these cuttings back in just around the base as a natural mulch, and they'll break down and provide nutrients back into the bed. Okay, next I'm going to stake the eggplant. Okay, so I have 8 plants and I've gathered 8 stakes. Just going to put them in place first, and I'll come back and drive them into the soil. I'm going to put them in rather deep as possible, so that they'll be very strong. So as you can see here, this is why I waited to stake the eggplant, because it's going to crimp my space a little bit, but it can't be helped in such a small space here. So the undergrowth is cleared from the tomatoes, and that'll allow me access to get in there and do further weeding and whatever else I need to do. Very good. Okay, so what I'll do next is tie the eggplant to their stakes. Okay, the first staking of the eggplant. I was just thinking, imagine trying to do this in the heat of the sun. It's better to get this done in the morning when it's still nice and cool. We're just 3 weeks away from the summer solstice. So I'd say that looks pretty good. Tied very nicely. Over here as well. Yeah, looks good, looks good. And before we know it, they'll be climbing up to the upper levels. So I'm hoping that butternut squash will look like this in a few months. This is one I brought late last year, and the seeds from one of the others are what's growing the butternut squash this season. So I'm going to make a soup, a chilled soup, but I have to use it quickly because it has this blemish on it. So butternut squash soup on the menu for today. Well, here's the roasted butternut squash and an onion. Once they cool down, I'll turn them into a soup and use an immersion blender. Looks pretty good, huh? The one thing I did do was save the seeds once again so that next year I can plant more butternut squash. Smell good? Smells pretty good, huh? Yeah. So I've taken the netting off of the bed up here. They seem to have been crimped by the netting. Although the bugs are making quick work of some of the leaves here. overall they look pretty good. This isn't mildew, this is just the natural color of the leaves, and hopefully we'll have some fruit. I see this one here has fallen off. That one didn't take. Can you see that there? Yeah, this one here didn't take. So, yeah, but there's still more fruit, and hopefully that one will do well. We've got some more down here as well. So, yeah, keep our fingers crossed and hope that the squirrels don't come from the wooded area next door and start munching on my things. If I notice their presence, the net will go back on. So, right? And maybe Spunky will come out and chase them away. Huh? Fat chance.